Before Paranormal Activity, there was this. Let's talk about the Blair Witch Project. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1999 supernatural horror film of found footage, that is, The Blair Witch Project, originally released by Artisan Entertainment, now of course under license at Lionsgate. Directed and edited by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. It's a fictional story of three student filmmakers who appear in this: Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, and Joshua Leonard, who hike into the Black Hills near Burkittsville, Maryland in 1994 to film a documentary about a local known legend, the Blair Witch. The three disappear, but their equipment and footage are discovered a year later. The purportedly recovered footage is the film the viewer sees. This film became a surprise hit and what have you. And I will agree, it was something. Now, the film purports to be found footage in the discarded cameras of these three young filmmakers who had gone missing. In October 1994, film students Heather, Mike, and Josh set out to produce a documentary about the fabled Blair Witch. They traveled to Burkittsville, Maryland, and interviewed residents about the legend. Locals tell them of Rustin Parr, a hermit who lived in the woods and kidnapped 7 children in the 1940s. He supposedly killed them all in his basement, murdering them in pairs while having one standing in a corner. The students explore the woods in North Burkittsville to research the legend. They meet 2 fishermen who, one of them warns them that the woods are haunted. He tells them of a young girl named Robin Weaver who went missing in 1888. When she returned 3 days later, she talked about an old woman whose feet never touched the ground. The students hiked to Coffin Rock, where 5 men were found ritualistically murdered in the 19th century. Their bodies later disappeared. They camped for the night and the next day find an old cemetery with 7 small cairns, one of which Josh accidentally knocks over. That night they hear the sound of twigs snapping. The following day they try to hike back to the car but cannot find it before dark and make camp. They again hear twigs snapping. In the morning they find that 3 cairns have been built around their tent. Heather learns her map is missing, and Mike reveals he kicked the map into a creek out of frustration, which provokes a fight between the three as they realize they are lost. They decide to head south using Mike's compass and discover stick figures suspended from trees. They again hear strange sounds that night, including children laughing. After an unknown force shakes the tent, they hide in the woods until dawn. Upon returning to their tent, they find that their possessions have been rifled through and Josh's equipment is covered with slime. They come across a river identical to the one they crossed earlier and realize they have walked in a circle. Josh disappears the next morning. Heather and Mike try in vain to find him. That night they hear Josh's agonized screams but are unable to locate him. They theorize that his screams are a fabrication by the witch to draw them out of their tent. Alright, now I'm going to get to the final act and the ending to this. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box and fast forward to the time below to avoid any spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Thank you, and here we go. Okay, you've been warned. The next day, Heather discovers a bundle of sticks tied with fabric from Josh's shirt. Upon opening the bundle, she also finds a blood-soaked scrap of his shirt containing teeth, hair, a finger, and a large piece of a tongue. Ooh. Although distraught, she does not tell Mike. That night, she records herself apologizing to her family and Mike's and Josh's families, taking responsibility for their predicament. They again hear Josh's agonized cries and follow them to an abandoned house containing demonic symbols and children's bloody handprints on the walls. Trying to find Josh, they go into the basement where an unseen force attacks Mike, causing him to drop his camera. Heather enters the basement screaming, and her camera captures Mike standing in a corner facing the wall. Heather calls out to him, but he doesn't react. The unseen force attacks Heather, causing her to drop her camera, and the footage ends. End of story. So, what did I think of the Blair Witch Project? Well, it has been a long time since I last saw this film, but I do recall seeing this. This film was pretty big and what have you, and this was really what revived the found footage technique in films, which of course would later be used for films like Paranormal Activity, which I am looking forward to reviewing very soon, and Cloverfield. Anyway, yes. Anyway, this film was just such a big success, and everyone gave it some good reviews. The critics did, while audience reception was split. The film went on to make 248 million worldwide. Anyway, I thought this film was pretty shocking and what have you, though I really wasn't that much into it. This was, I feel like, the only found footage film I saw, and well, I just never did want to think of watching one again. Not even Paranormal Activity until last month when I watched the first six. Now I will be watching the seventh one, which came out last October. Okay, promise. Well, duh, I am promising because that's on my schedule. Anyway, the Blair Witch Project, pretty shocking and what have you. And it's been spoofed as well, and there's been an array of other films that have relied on found footage. Not just Paranormal Activity or Cloverfield, but also VHS. Let's see, and The Last Exorcism, Chronicle, and Rec. Well, which is REC is in record, which I know that's a Spanish found footage film. Well, I've seen Chronicle, well, although that's not a factual horror film, that's actually more of an action film in ways. But yeah. But anyway, I feel like this is a very good film, and I liked it for what it had to offer and what have you. Now, after this, the following year, a sequel called Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 came out. But unfortunately, everybody dissed it, and it still did okay. It wasn't as big as its predecessor. And then soon they kind of just said the heck with it, and just decided to erase the existence of it and decide to do well, a new sequel, which was originally to be called The Woods, so they called it Blair Witch, which came out in 2016. Although it, again, wasn't a success, but however, it got a little bit of a mixed response. I know I don't have that on the schedule. I do have two coming up, but if I can make room and decide to watch it, maybe you'll get, or you might get next year, okay? Just bear with me, okay? I should point out on my schedule video that schedule is subject to change for some of these vids, okay? So anyway, yeah. And there's also a new installment in development at Lionsgate as of April of this year. So we'll see what happens. But Blair Witch has really gone to spun out lots of things, including novels and, well, lots of other things, even a video game. So overall, would I recommend the Blair Witch Project? Well, let me put it to you this way. I'd say hell yeah. This is definitely worth looking into. As long as you're into seeing found footage and what have you, then I'd say go for it. So anyway, I think what we saw in this was really, well, shocking, a little surprising. It had twists and turns and what have you. And well, and the performances of Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, and Joshua Leonard were very good. And Tony Corr's score for this wasn't too bad either. So it's all pretty good. So, what are your thoughts on the Blair Witch Project? please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of Book of Shells Blair Witch 2, which I might, there is a possibility I might defend it or I may not. Just stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, consider checking out some of these other frightfully types of films I've done, what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review for. Sorry, I'm trying to get the right words to come out. Oh, good tiles and what have you. Well, I'll just do some classics. That is upper left-hand corner is the review of the original Halloween. The upper right-hand corner is my review of its sequel from 1981. Or if you would like a little sillier take on this, see my review of the original Scary Movie from 2000 in the bottom left-hand corner, which was one of the flicks that spoofed it. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.